You know them, the people that walk right into the gym, load up 275 pounds on the bar, and just start squatting. And you wonder to yourself, should I be doing that? No, absolutely not. Why are they doing it? Here's why you should warm up properly. Hey everyone, welcome back. So, in order to help continue your fitness education, I'm starting a new little series called Why Though? And this is to dive into information as to why you should be doing certain things in and out of the gym in order to maximize your gains and just make sure that you're moving and living generally healthy. So today's topic is going to be about warm-ups, or more specifically why you should be warming up before you start lifting. I can tell you from experience that if I were to be the person who walked in and just started squatting right away, I would probably injure myself pretty quick. It might not be that moment, but it's going to start a cascade of effects that may end up leading to an injury in the future. And I've definitely done that. I've come off of a knee injury because I didn't warm up properly and I overestimated my ability for the day, and I ended up getting hurt. And I don't want that to happen to you. So first things first, what is a warm-up? A warm-up is a deliberate set of movements in order to prepare some muscles or joints for loading by increasing blood flow to the area. Ideally, these movements should be recreating specific portions of the action that's going to be performed, such as a back squat, or at least increasing blood flow to the appropriate muscles that are going to be used during the movement. Of course, there's the idea that I'm warming up as I'm squatting, so why do I need to waste energy in a warm-up? And while that may be true to some degree, the loading can be so sudden that the muscles may strain themselves in order to accommodate such a large change in activity. But for those who are occupationally sedentary or basically just a desk job, if you were to run into the gym and make huge jumps in weight, you're very likely going to be increasing your risk for injury. So warm-up procedures can vary from gym to gym or from trainer to trainer, but the goal is generally the same. Move like you're going to move, and do not overstretch. The previous go-to for warm-ups, and one that you're probably most familiar with, is static stretching, which is basically the touch your toes type movements, the stretching overhead, and statically stretching a muscle. This is artificially increasing the length of your muscle. The more research that's been done into static stretching, the more we realize that static stretching doesn't necessarily help performance, and in fact it can actually decrease your performance by overstretching the muscle. This is because the muscle gets strained before the movement even begins, and then when you actually perform the movement and increase the loads, the muscle is already weak and is therefore more prone to injury. A little bit of stretching is still necessary, but only through the appropriate range of motion. So this is where the idea of a dynamic stretch came from, which is essentially stretching through a movement that is very similar to your main movement. So all of that said, here's an example of a warm-up that I might do before I back squat. I might perform 2 rounds of 10 to 12 goblet squats, 10 to 12 PVC pipe good mornings, 10 to 12 single arm kettlebell marches, and 10 to 12 alternating reverse lunges. Here's why I chose those movements in particular. Goblet squats simulate the exact movement of a back squat at lower load, but also engage the core more actively by having the weight in front. PVC pipe good mornings help warm up the posterior chain and the stabilizer muscles in the spine and in your hips. Single arm kettlebell marches help warm up hip flexors and asymmetrically load the core. Alternating reverse lunges can help warm up the quads and hamstrings in a slightly different pattern, better preparing the muscles for load. And then from here, I would start back squatting with an empty bar and then slowly loading on the weight as is appropriate, maybe starting at 50% of my 1 rep max and then increasing by 5 to 10% depending on what my goal is for the sets and reps. A couple of other things that I like to do, it's personal preference, but I prefer to warm up with a little bit of light cardio. This is just get my heart rate up and just get me in the zone. And then afterwards I do a tiny bit of breathing exercise, and this is to just focus on my breath, saturate my blood with oxygen, and then just get a little bit more in tune with my body. We should all be taking the time to warm up properly, in my opinion, and this is just going to help you stay in the gym longer and stay healthy for longer and get to enjoy your senior years without any major joint pains, or at least reduce the potential for joint pains in your future, and it will also keep your medical costs down. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you were able to get some information out of this. I really like sharing this kind of information, and please let me know if this is the type of stuff that you guys want to see, and I'd be happy to continue to put out this type of information. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.